My next guest is a fellow who is really at the top of his ladder in his chosen profession. He's an excellent coach, well respected and admired by his peers. Has coached a lot of spectacular tennis players, and he's written this book called Total Tennis Training, and I want you to say hello to him right now. I'm not a real tennis player, but I can appreciate this book because this is not your pamphlet kind of book. This is a thorough, in-depth guide to improve your game. Am I right?
What I tried to do in writing the book was break it down into the three parts: the physical, the mental, and the emotional, and to tie them all together.
How much of the game is mental?
The mental part, people categorize mental. I think it's mental and emotional. When people talk about mental toughness, for instance, it's really emotional toughness.
Okay.
The mental part, I put, the first part of the book, I have a thing that says physically understanding your capabilities and what you need to do. The mental part is knowing how to use those capabilities and those fundamentals. In other words, mental part is what shots do I make? What is my shot selection? Where do I hit the ball when? I have a section on momentum control, which is very unexplored. You always hear sportscasters talk about controlling the momentum, or
right.
You know,
he's got the momentum now.
He's got the momentum, but nobody ever talks about it. I worked over 6 years on trying to find a way to control the flow and handle the momentum based on what has just happened, based on the score, based on what is happening on the court. You know, a rain delay, a bad line call, those things might change momentum, but how can a person control the momentum based on what has just happened, based on the score, based on putting points together and getting on a roll? Those are the mental things. Pre-match preparation, how to prepare for different opponents. If I've played you and I've never played you before, that's a lot different pressure.
Quick game.
Well, I don't know that when I go onto the court.
Okay.
You know, if you have a big reputation and I'm afraid of you, there's a lot of mystery involved there.
Right.
So it's that's a different pressure than if I've played you every day of the week for the last 3 years. And I know your game, you know mine. There's different pressures involved. There's a section on pre-match preparation, and there's probably 10 different situations that you can come into a match. You know your opponent, you don't know your opponent. He's favored, you're favored, neither is favored. You're playing at his home courts, your home courts. Right. You know, the strength of the tournament. So those are all the mental things that you have to go through and concentrate on when you're preparing to play a match.
Watching McEnroe on TV, it seems to me like, now he's a professional and a good one, but it seems to me like he goes so much by the book when he's getting ready to serve. It's like it's got to be just right. When he, you know, it's almost mechanical that he stops and thinks about it. Is that? No,
that's called a routine that he has. All players, golfers, tennis players, people in technical skill sports have routines, and they have, like, the first part of the routine, they do a certain thing, so how he gets his feet set and things like that. What he's probably thinking about is, what play do I want to run?
Okay.
Instead
but he's stalling is what he's doing there.
Well, you can't, right. Yeah. It's more what play do I want to run. The players, and that's an important thing that I cover in the book, in the momentum control, is that if I'm the underdog and I'm playing you, I'm going to react to you the whole time. If you're John McEnroe now, and you know you're going to win, or you feel you're going to win, if you're the favorite, you usually run the right plays, but the underdog doesn't. The favorite usually thinks about what he's doing. The underdog usually reacts with his emotions.
Tell me the quick story about you and your mother talking about your brother.
Oh, wow. We were up in Charlotte, North Carolina. My brother-in-law was dying. And my philosophy in coaching the last 8 years came from this. But what happened, my brother-in-law was dying, and I was talking to my mother about not being able to motivate my players. I say, I get fired up. I try to work early morning workouts for the guys. I try to give them everything. Clemson's great in that they give them great equipment, great opportunities. Why don't they have more desire in things? And she told me a great story that I never forgot, and I tell the freshmen every year when they come in. And it's the story about her as a girl going to watching baby chicks hatch and wanting to open one of the shells for the baby chicks who was hatching, and the grandmother said, no, don't you dare do that, because if you do, the chick will be too weak for the environment, and he'll die.
Do it on your own.
Do it on your own. And as players, I've developed, as in coaching, I've developed a philosophy. It's ability, desire, and opportunity. Ability is what the good Lord gave you. Opportunity is my job. The desire is your part. I'm not going to give you one opportunity that you haven't worked for, and you've got to break out of your own shell.